Good morning, YouTube. Today is Friday, June 14th, and we are back after another Fed meeting. We have to go over our recaps, but looks like we are set here, stable in the world of mortgage rates at this time. How's everyone doing this morning?
It's a great morning there.
That's good. That's good. Anth, no birds this morning. What'd you do? Kill them all?
No, they're chirping, man. You just can't hear them yet.
Okay. All right. Usually birds chirp when the sun come up. I don't know what sort of
it's about to rain.
You went to. Oh, I see.
It is about the storm here today.
Gotcha.
Well, it's humid. It's so humid out there.
It is a great Friday. Good to be on the show. We had the Fed meeting adjourned Wednesday. Everything pretty much happened that we expected. The Fed has kept rates where they're at. They are now saying maybe one rate cut by the end of the year, but they did acknowledge that inflation has went down a little bit, and just that little bit, that little tidbit, all we need is a little bit of good information, and it does help interest rates. We have had some winning days in the last couple of days that have moved rates a little bit lower. You might be able to save an 1/8% or 1/4% out there. So that's all good news, even though the Fed themselves didn't really touch rates, and everything is going to stay inflated with cost, whether you're buying a car or getting a mortgage. Anything with credit still going to be a little bit more expensive until the Fed starts moving those rates down.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see it this year. They might try to pull one off before the election, but I think we're going to remain stable, which is better than them going up, though. On the flip side, I think buyers are starting to get used to these rates a little bit.
I think you're spot on there. We're definitely not going to have, it's not going to show up and drop 2 percentage points overnight. So if anything, it's going to be a slow trickle back down, but anything in the right direction is good news. I think so.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more positivity out there than the last 2 years around this time.
For sure. I think 2 years ago we started the Putin price hike, and I think it's still around, unfortunately, with these gas prices right now.
Yeah, so I just don't understand the inflation. They say it's down, but it's down from June of last year where it was way up. So, we'll just let them keep running out their percentages.
Yep, we need things to get cheaper in life. That's all. Maybe keep more of that paycheck. That'd all be nice. But
it'd be nice to go to dinner for less than $25 for two people anywhere.
Yeah, that's McDonald's $25. Sheesh.
Yeah. And you only get a Big Mac and a small fry.
Dude, I went and got a pizza and a hoagie yesterday. It was $42.
It's just insane. Like you go out to eat to a little pizza shop for your family and 4 people. I mean, you're at least spending $80, like you said, Anth. I mean, there's no
Stop having all them kids.
Yeah, man. And Anthony too, he does pizza hoagie himself and probably get some wings. Did it up big last night. So, I mean, but yeah, it's just crazy. You can't go eat anywhere. I mean, what were we laughing about last week or maybe the week before? The only cheap place to go get a meal anymore in Pittsburgh is Permane Brothers.
Yeah, well, hey, they might have a new eating champion at Permane's. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. That's some big news. Bring him to town.
What a story. Joey Chestnut getting banned from the hot dog eating contest, but it seems like it was a contract thing, competitor thing. Joey Chestnut seemed to be un-American going with some sort of vegan hot dog. So I got to stand with Nathan's here. You can't have a vegan hot dog eater in the All-American hot dog eating contest.
No, I could see if you went to like Ballpark Franks or something, but no vegan dogs. I mean, a hot dog is mushed up meat, man.
Yeah.
Also, can you really trust the person that doesn't eat a good old American hot dog?
No.
Yeah. No.
But red meat, not great for the liver, so we're going to stay away from that for sure.
Yeah, stay away from that. I came to a conclusion last night. I could trust the dude that wears Hey Dudes more than anyone.
Okay.
So if you see a guy wearing Hey Dudes, you could trust that guy. He's a bro.
Well, also we need Tiger Woods to have a good day today so we can make the cut. Okay, everyone, tune into the U.S. Open. Let's
Take
cheer
care
for
for 'em.
Tiger like it's 1998, and let him have a day. Just one time, have a good day. So come on, Tiger, do it. Do it for the old guys.
Our host is heading there Sunday, everybody. He's going out to Pinehurst, and
Yeah,
he
and
has
I'd
never
like to
seen
see the
Tiger Woods
guy.
play.
I'd like to see the guy hit a golf ball live for one time in my life. So let's make this happen. Come on, Tiger.
I'll root for him.
But anywho, let's get into today's topic. It's a big one. It's an important one. It's when buyers ask the wrong question. And that question to us is, what is your interest rate? What is your interest rate to a loan officer is a loaded question. And you can't just ask what the interest rate is. You have to ask what's your interest rate and what's your cost affiliated with your interest rate. So right here is the entire chart of what we have available for interest rates today on a conventional loan for a $300,000 purchase with 5% down, 770 credit score. All right. You could go from 5.75 to 8.125 and anywhere in between. But the question is, why would you do that? So first off, every lender has a different cost. So every lender's base rate is going to be different. That's one of the main reasons you need to shop around. Our base rate for this scenario, I'll be the base rate. Anthony's going to be the higher rate. Tom's going to be the lower rate. So I'm base rate at 6.875. If a buyer wants the base rate, not pay anything extra, not get any sort of credit, that's the rate they would get. If they want to shop around for base rates, that's what they need to be asking for. They just can't be asking, what is your interest rate? So if someone called me, said, Ryan, what's your base rate with no extra points or credits? I would say 6.875. But maybe the buyer wants the lowest interest rate possible. So they call Tom and they say, Tom, I want the lowest rate possible. So instead of 6.875, Tom's going to take them away. He's going to give them a 5.75 rate.
Yep. So that 5.75, you can see how our rate sheet, that's a little portion of our rate sheet that he has clipped there. And you could see the 5.75 is the absolute lowest we can go. So if you want to do that buy down, you absolutely could. And you could see on the right, the principal and interest, how much less it is than the 6.875. So it's $209 less. The thing you don't see there is the pricing with it. And it is going to cost you $9,975 to buy it down to that 5.75. But you are saving the $209 a month. So how we get that break even point, which is very crucial to figure out if it is worth it or not, we're going to divide that 209 into the 9,975, and we're going to get a break even of 47. That number of 47 that comes out is the months that it's going to take for you to make your money back that you're paying for your monthly savings. So it needs to make sense. 47 months is teetering kind of where we want to put them right now. So we would talk to the buyer about that, see how long they wanted to stay in there, what they were thinking, and then go from there. But this is a great option for some people. And where the pricing breaks out, maybe we don't buy all the way down to 5.75. Maybe we only buy to 6.25, and that break-even point might be only 36 months. So that might be more beneficial to the buyer. So always talking to the buyer. It's always the buyer's choice, but these options are out there.
And here's the important thing of why you would do a rate buy down in lieu of just the normal train of thought would be, well, why don't you just put that $9,975 towards principal and lower your payment that way? If you do it that way, it only changes the payment by $66 a month instead of $209 a month. So if you're a buyer that wants the lower rate, you're not going to sit here and guess on refinancing or if you can refinance or when that's going to happen. After 47 months, you're in the green and it makes sense. So if you found your forever home, if you're happy with, I got some extra money, I'm going to buy down the rate. It's better than putting it towards the principal because it's going to lower my payment more. that's definitely an option. That's the buyer that has a little bit more funds sitting around. But again, it's better than putting it towards the principal. Anthony, you have anything to add to that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's valuable as far as the time frame break even point. I mean, that's definitely what buyers should look at. But if they plan on keeping this home as their forever home, or 15, 20 years after those 47 months, that's going to be 100% savings. So it's definitely valid to take a look at that option if a client's interested in doing the buy down.
That's absolutely true. So now we're going to do the flip side for Anthony. Maybe you have a buyer that has to pay some buyer brokerage commission or doesn't have enough cash to close. And they're saying, we may be able to refinance in the next couple years. What type of credit can you give me, Anthony, and West Penn Financial, to help me out? And when that happens, it's called a lender credit. It does not have to be paid back, but how it's given is in a higher interest rate. So again, our base rate is 6.875. Tom just offered 5.75 that's going to cost the buyer money. Now we're going to do the reverse. We're going to give a higher interest rate, but Anthony's going to be able to give a credit back to the buyer at 8.125.
Yeah, so I mean, with the rate being 8.125, the payment goes up $244 a month. Now, the credit on that we can give back to the buyer towards closing is $6,555. So if a client is struggling with additional funds for closing, but they're totally happy and fine with the payment being higher, that's a valid option. And then if the rates reduce, they can look at refinancing, typically after a 12-month time frame, to get a lower interest rate. So, but yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. I know we've all done that as well. Maybe not as much, but
the break-even point on that one is 26 months. So you're not paying more on that higher interest rate until 26 months. So you have 26 months to hypothetically refinance there. You do have to wait the 12 months to do it. Anytime after 12 months to 26 months, you could refinance to a lower rate if you wanted to go that path. Again, we don't always like to increase interest rates, but there's going to be a time that the buyer's costs are increasing. They may not have the cash to get into the home, but they're okay paying a little bit higher of a payment for a short time, hypothetically, to then get into the home where they can get settled, get that equity, and then refi. But the key of the matter is there's options for buyers, and they don't have to go to these extremes. As Tom said, a buyer can go to any one of these different rates, and the cost is going to be different, or the credit's going to be different for every single interest rate. We just did the highest and lowest we could. So a buyer only asking what your interest rate is, it isn't showing the whole picture. Because, if Tom says, hey, the best rate I have is 5.75, but then it's going to cost him $9,990 or $9,975, a buyer may not have that extra cash to do that. And that may be crazy for that particular buyer, but it may make sense to other buyers that have extra funds to work with.
Yeah. No, everybody has a budget they're trying to fit into. So we're just trying to help them get there.
Yep. So, I mean, in reality, a buyer can pick their rate. If they call us today, they could pick their rate on a conventional loan from 5.75 to 8.125. It just depends on what fits their scenario the best.
I like that. Call West Penn. Pick your rate.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to depend on your credit score. It's going to depend on all the scenarios, but you can pick your rate.
Multiple choice. People love multiple choice.
There we go. There's your Friday lesson. Call us for your pre-approvals over the weekend.
Yeah. We'll be available.
All right, boys.
see you guys
Tuesday.
later.